we're going to win in the future, Republicans need to do better among Latinos, and they need to do better among women, particularly single women.
I think Republicans have done a pathetic job of reaching out to people of color, something we've got to work on. And it's a group of people that, frankly, should be with us based on the real policy of conservatism.
Now, after last night's performance, the Republicans that you saw both on TV, both party fathers, former candidates, etc., they all acknowledge one thing. They might have a different solution, but they say there needs to be some real soul searching. As Politico put it today, Republicans face a crisis, country growing less white, and their coalition has become more white in recent years. Now, Romney did win white voters by 20 percentage points, but among Latinos, blacks, Asians, young women, he lost miserably to the president. It's causing some Republicans to take a long, hard look in the mirror and ask how they go forward. Al Cardenas, the chairman of the American Conservative Union, said this: the GOP needs to realize that it's too old and too white and too male, and it needs to figure out how to catch up with the demographics of the country before it's too late. Now, I've heard one strategist put it this way: there's a war coming within the party where he says the mathematicians like me who do the math and say we need a different message here if we're going to get elected are going to go to war with the priests who say if we had a pure conservative running, not somebody who was in name only a conservative, we would have won. It was the messenger, not the message. But they're still fighting the same fight 4 years ago they fought.
When I got into Congress in 1987, we were having this debate.
Right.
And one of the things, and this is not a criticism of the African American community, but I could reach out and spend 80% of my time helping the African American community, which I should, because that's my job, representing and dealing where the problems are. But I'm not going to win votes. The votes are going to be won with the Latino community.
But you know what's insulting, though, Richard, and the congressman may take exception to this. I listen, and I don't listen to Rush Limbaugh. I really don't. I heard a soundbite with him earlier today.
Sure.
I would never sit down and listen to Rush. I have many more things, important things to do. But one thing that he said, we have outreach to communities of color. And he said, we have Clarence Thomas. We have Herman Cain. That's an insult to people of color. That's not reaching out.
Well, for a more broader level, I remember 4 years ago that when Republicans dare speak out against the same conversation we're having now, Rush Limbaugh literally summoned one of them to a studio to make him apologize. And then we all believed at that point that, hey, in effect, the right-wing pundits, in effect, were the fathers of the party, and then things may have changed. But the point of the matter is, when do Republicans say, wait a minute, we lost Dick Lugar in a primary to this clown that they saw embarrass himself and actually hurt the party in the general. At what point do they say, you know what, we're going to actually put winning elections here above some phony purity test?
Well, Bill Buckley said you like the most conservative who can get elected. And that was sound. That was sound. But the basic political science 101 is you go where your strength is and bring them out, and then you go into the swing districts. It happens that the African American community is so democratic that going into a very partisan community, you can win friends, but you don't win votes. You just don't change.
Okay, take the black vote off the table for a second here.
Okay.
The Latino vote, the Asian vote, okay? George W. Bush did a better job with this.
So the quandary is this. Republicans say laws should be obeyed. We have people who come here illegally and then jump ahead of people who are waiting in line to become citizens. So it offends their sense of law and order. And so that's the quandary you have. So I go to a community meeting, and I'm there discussing, admittedly, not a lot of Latinos there. A lot of my constituents weren't Latinos except in Bridgeport and Stanford. Yeah. How do you explain to someone you can break the law and then become a citizen? That's a challenge.
But George Bush actually proposed immigration reform. And he got Democrats to go along with him, but he didn't have enough Republicans.
Right.
And I think that explains why he had to put it this way. If Romney had the percentage of the Hispanic electorate that George Bush did, there might have been a different result last night.
There would have been.
But you know, this goes back to a time, I'm forgetting the senator. He was the senator from California, and then he became the governor of California and put through one of the referendums to say that dealing with illegal immigration, because 25% of the folks in the municipal hospitals and public hospitals in California were illegal immigrants.
You think we're going to have the same conversation 4 years from now? Or do you think the Republicans got the memo last night?
No. Well, there's a simple solution: have a blue card, allow them to live here, just don't make them American citizens.
You heard that quite a bit last night. All right, next up here, we're going to talk about the winners and losers last night. Stay with us.